Welcome back, everyone, to the favorite way to waste your day. It's Angry Coach in 2022, and this time we're going to be looking at your favorite subject and my favorite subject. Yes, me. We've finally scraped the bottom of the content barrel, and we've dug up the dregs of clickbait in the past in order to bring you what so many YouTube commenters... Jimmy, can we do the, comment, oh, Winter, self-angry coach. You've seen it. We don't need any of that. What we need to do is see if I've actually played enough games to fit my own qualifications in the last couple weeks. If I will embarrass myself for views and likes and subscribes. And we already know the answer to that, just like you in the Twitch chat and the YouTube comments think you already know the answer to playing StarCraft 2. So without further ado, let's jump in. I've selected 3 mildly painful replays, losses, believe it or not, for us to look at one of each race, and you tell me which one is the worst. Thank you for tuning in to Angry Coach in 2022. And this one, YouTube, goes out to you. Thank you for watching. Jimmy, cut the music. What the... All right, everyone. Our very first replay today from the first race I've ever gotten Grandmaster with. Not very recently, but right now I consider myself a solidly mediocre player. It's Zerg. My worst matchup is actually Zerg versus Terran. I really do struggle with managing when to get drones against a Terran who puts on a lot of pressure. This is up against a player, it says Diamond, but he ends up with 350 APM. It is definitely a Smurf account, but that is not relevant. What is relevant is this, I think, is a good example of a painfully standard game where I just get outplayed. And by that I mean, I think I made no mistakes. I think Terran is OP. Widow Mines are kind of broken. Marines and Medivacs are ridiculously cost-effective. Queens aren't strong enough and should have more anti-air range. That's what I think. And honestly, you might be like, well, Winter, this game is from at least a week ago. The other ones are from further. I haven't played enough StarCraft to fit my own qualifications. 5 games per league per week. So as a pseudo-masters or even grandmaster player, I'll tell you, I don't have enough games played. So without further ado, I'm going to throw a strike up on the board. Jimmy, go to the game! Some things never change. Because that... Am I going to strike myself out? I might. And another thing, I don't look at my own replays. Do as I say, not as I do. I mean, I will, but mostly to make fun of my opponent for one reason or another. We all like watching our wins, but our losses, on the other hand. So I'm gonna assume I can make it to the 3-minute mark without any major mistakes. Because if I can't, we got bigger issues and should probably try to unwatch any guides I've ever made. So with it's not new maps, but the general strategy is first Overlord Scouts, second Overlord Scouts for proxy racks, and then watches for run-bys, Hellions, Reapers, all that. Spawning pool in the main. Gas pool. I like getting Zergling speed relatively early, just to drive away any of that early stuff. Some players will delay the gas in order to get their 3rd hatchery, but that sounds like a lot of responsibility to me. So far, everything on point, at least to my... I think, you know what? Let me angry coach myself, just in general. I feel like I need to play more StarCraft. Okay, Winter, you're not even confident in your own calls. I have not played enough lately. Honestly, I've been a little unfocused. Age of Empires 4 is the best technological achievement between Brood War and Age of Empires 2. I just haven't been as focused. But with the pseudo-balance patch, myself and pretty much all of the Netherlands are thinking about. And just in general, StarCraft 2, the best RTS ever made. And your mistakes are your fault, and my mistakes are my fault through neglect and just lack of diligence and practice. And by that I mean Terran is so OP. Like, ghosts. Do I need to say anything more? Can I just stop the video here? I won't, because you need at least 8 minutes for advertisements. But, all right, Scouting Reaper. And most important part is not panicking. I do okay. Oh, I sent the drone out for the 3rd. So that way it would be at the 3rd, even if I didn't have the minerals, before the pesky Reaper, because everybody thinks they're clown. Let's keep the choking out of game. So now, what I really struggle with is larva management. The highest level Zerg stuff, and this is what we got to focus on, to my own credit, is larva management. Because think about it. When larva is something, is a resource, if you're not using that larva, especially before injects, it's wasted. If you have 3 larvae on a hatchery, you're maxed out. You're not getting any extra value. You're not, essentially, it's like queuing up Marines. The Marines are just, it's even worse because they're Marines that you can't even build later on because you didn't get more larvae, because larva doesn't recharge after the first 3 until you use it. So far, getting creep on the queens, focusing on drones. The overlords are in decent positions. I haven't watched Cyril or Raynor to see the actual exact overlord positions, but the general rule is to put them in nearby, but just that's a high ground location out to the sides. Oh, there's scouts down there. Put the stalkers with them in units that are almost completely useless. Community maps are so cool. Okay, supply blocked at 44, but the hatchery's finishing. So far, honestly, we'll see as the hatch finishes. How many larvae? 1 larva. 300 minerals. As speed finished, I should have gone back into gas. It's not time for spores yet, especially if you don't see any aggression, but I do not quite have the gas as quickly as I'd like. Three queens, 3 more ovies. Just seeing the Marines. Yeah, I see more Marines in production, and that means it's probably the end of the Hellions, or at least it's not very committed. So the Spore Crawlers go in anti-liberator locations. Double Evo. Yeah, not having that gas means that the 1-1 is going to be late. I'm going to need to kind of scramble to get more gases. The spores are just anti-liberator because usually if they're going for a real eco-focused build, it's going to be a liberator or nothing in the air. Yeah, the gas is a huge deal. These are the kind of things, and just to Angry Coach, the comments and Twitch chat and everything. So far, a lot of little details could be improved, but nothing angry coachable to my credit. Nothing like you forgot to build queens or some silly stuff like that. It is just as high impact, though not as flashy. There are 2 Evo chambers. There's not enough gas. When you put drones back in gas, I like to time it out with speed finishing. Usually, if you put them back, like go back to 3 in gas with speed finishing, you'll have enough gas to get your 1-1 with your Evo chambers after you start baneling speed. Like you time out the Evo chambers with the baneling nest, with the lair finishing, and then you have 450 gas, and wait, is that the number? 400? Over 150 would be good, but I don't have that because the gas was late. And getting your upgrades late. Like, at this point, it's a 3cc Terran, so... Hurry up. Let's try to keep this under an hour, all right? Nobody's going to click on a 4-hour video, Winter. Maybe you should stop uploading multi-hour videos and people will click on them. No, just make a good thumbnail. Put an arrow in it. That's what we need, Angry Coach. So 1-1 on the way, but you see, now it's late. The Evo chambers could have been up. This is how you get behind. It's not necessarily how you lose a game outright, but that's how you get behind. Not getting the gas on time, literally 30, 40 seconds late, and then being, instead of ahead, being even or slightly behind on upgrades, especially against Terran. I like Hydraling Bane. I think Hydraling Bane, especially at below the Clem level, is solid because you have the Hydras as a backline and then Ling Bane can go through the front. I think Mass Ling Bane is just unrealistic with my mechanics and APM. And then Mutas, same thing. So that really leaves you with Hydras until maybe eventually Lurkers if needed. 700 minerals. What are you doing? 9 larvae. I'd like to pretend I'm saving up for Hydras, but I bet I spend this larva. It's just sitting there. I bet I spend this larva before the Hydra Den finishes. If I know me, I've just kind of forgotten for a bit here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Fucking 16 Zerglings before the Hydra Den finishes. Perfect timing. Yes. This way you'll be able to make significant plea to, I don't know, the Hydralist Committee, imploring them to eventually at some point help us out with some Hydras. I don't. I think I'm reading into my own thought processes because I can do that because it's me. What happened was I was waiting for the Hydra Den. There was actually like I'm waiting for Hydras, and then I kind of forgot. I had the amnesia. You guys have it. You guys. When you remember what you want to do, it's short-term memory loss. StarCraft is short-term memory loss, the game. So, what happened is I built the Hydra Den, I banked up some resources for the 4th and for Hydras, and then I saw red on the map. Saw red on the mini-map. Dangerous. And now we have no Hydras. Why are Hydras important? Because like I said, especially on this larger map, you want to get as many Hydras as quickly as possible because the Hydras take longer to build, they're more expensive, so once you get them, they're kind of like, you've kind of already finished that. Like if you can get to 20 Hydras or so, then you can just fill in Ling Bane, and that's a lot quicker and easier to do. But if you're struggling to get that Hydra count up, it's going to make it harder to get everything else later on. There was perfect opportunity to get the Hydras here, just like there was opportunity to get the upgrades. I just didn't. It was just late and poorly timed, which might sound like two ways to say the same thing, and they are. And that kind of inefficiency is why you keep losing to Terrans and seething on the inside about how efficient bio units are, while at the same time knowing your mechanics are not even at a fraction of the level they were half a decade ago. You're not that old, Winter. Who are you talking to? Let's move on. Okay, the 2-2's late by a bit, but a bit matters. Overlord's on the way. I've been pretty good about Overlords this game. Can we actually check the supply box? Yeah, I'm in the red. I had a few right around the 3rd base finishing, but that's actually intentional. So no, so you know what? Gold star to me. Gold star to me. At least there's that. Actually, I usually build too many of it. Welcome, this is Bob. I hope you guys got Bob. Those of you who paid 100 minerals or whatever it is for him, I actually don't tell him I got 3 others as well. So my whole collection. What are we doing here? All right, moving on. Sorry.
Evolution complete.
I like to build at the natural because if you're gonna get things sniped in the later game, if you lose your natural, you're probably already screwed. So there was a. How did this happen? Is there a lack of map vision, or do I know this is coming? Oh, leave something at the watchtower. What? Left exactly 0 units at the watchtower. So that means I get surprised by this attack. Like, there's no... Like, let's look at the map. 1 unit at the watchtower. What does it do? I can pull back with the Zerglings. I'm already making some Banelings, but you make like 10 more Banelings. And if I see it as this moves out, they can be mostly done by the time he's at my 3rd. But I just did. It was just lazy. Like, I'm not. It's not. It's just a mistake. It's not. None of these are like in the true Diamond League. Most of these would not matter because more shit still counters less shit. But I like to pretend to be a little better. So I'm actually acknowledging that I'm not a little better here. I can't find the larva to spend. I'm starting to build spying crawlers and all that. 69 drones. Nice. But not nearly mass static defense levels. Yeah, this is a mistake. Like, Brenda! Oh. Well, at the very least, the queens don't die. Oh, God. This is a strike. Like, sometimes you're a little out of position. Sometimes you lose queens with over half energy. The queens are there to be lost. Don't tell them that. But it shouldn't be free. Yeah, these are little mistakes. So, you know, you can tell the select army key. We're coming in for the flank. Do I have Overlord speed? As soon as you see more than 2 Widow Mines, which actually I hadn't until this point, but I think Overlord speed is a must. And actually this goes, imagine if I had 5 more Hydras and 10 more Banes in that fight. What are those minerals? Oh my, like, so poor preparation leads to mistakes, which leads to more mistakes. So I didn't have anything at the watchtower. I don't see it coming. I panic when the attack comes in because I have to micro to keep some of the queens alive. And that means I now have 1,500 minerals, 500 gas, and 0 units in production, which is significantly less than I could and should. And this is actually the most obvious mistake of the game. Part of that is just not seeing it. Like, that was just not doing my due diligence. I am at the level where we can pretend to play a strategy game. Lucky me. And this was not, like, just building stuff is not as important as where you put that stuff. Because I built all the stuff, and it was just in the wrong spot. And now, what could have been a 20 supply lead is a 10 supply deficit with 1,500 minerals in the bank. It's real bad. Like, oh God. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that you don't catch unless you watch the replay. So why did I do that? There's a burrowed bane, I have no detection. Did I need all the banes? That's just lazy APM. That was manual detonation. There's a burrowed widow mine. Way better than main. Hive is like, I recover well as soon as I get any breathing room, but that, you can't afford those mistakes. Did I ever get +2 carapace? What are you doing? Oh my God. Okay, I'm not going to give myself 3 strikes because I'm milking this content, but okay. Yeah, alright. No +2, I just didn't get +2 carapace. The fuck? I just didn't get it. Just didn't build it. I had the money. You can tell because I got +1 ranged attack like a minute later. And remember, I had 500 gas banked up a couple minutes ago. There's more than enough money. Yeah. Now I'm just... I think I got tilted. This is what I'm dragging Widow Mines into the army. Yeah, the game continues a while, but that last fight, I lost a lot of momentum. Now look at my opponent. Like, he's got 1,500. Oh my god. I'm choking up over here. He's got a whole Federal Reserve in the bank. So do I. I lost too many overlords. Yeah, you can tell now. Like, this is the part where I start getting salty about Terran. Like, oh my god, Terran's so cost effective. Yeah, when you lose the core of your defense. It is hard to recover against a smart Terran who will just hit everywhere you're not. It is hard. On even footing. And I lost that footing. At this point, what can I do? Build a Viper. Vipers, spellcasters, you know why I don't build Vipers? They take micro. You need more micro, not less at this stage. Like, you can know when you're... well, I'm at 96 drones. And I'm building 10 more. What the fuck? Scarlet, take the wheel. Take the wheel 5 minutes ago. Oh my. Well, I thought... well, unironically... I'm gonna speed through the last bit of this. 3 strikes. Unironic 3 strikes.
Get the fuck out of here!
Jimmy, why are they... oh my god, how many times? Wow. Yeah, it's bad. Okay. So, I was pretty much like, we're gonna try this once, because... try some new content. But yeah, this was educational. 1, gas timing. 2, basic scouting. 3, multitasking. And by multitasking, I mean when you're fighting, you need to be building. It's not a turn-based game. It's not... it's a real-time strategy game. That's kind of the struggle. So, if I was to give myself mid-masters hope score, and as objective as I can possibly be, which isn't much so, honestly, and yeah, I mean, my game sense is pretty solid. My basic game plan is decent. My mechanics are pretty poor. I gotta give myself... that's like a B- for mid-masters. It definitely... like, I hit all the key points, but not nearly hard enough. And I crumbled. This kind of stuff, you play more games, you don't make these mistakes. So, maybe play the game. Maybe play the game. I know, sounds crazy. Alright, well, it only gets worse from here. Terran versus Protoss. Everyone's favorite. You can already see the supply blocks. We got one of each. We got a Protoss versus Zerg. Is the just to bring it all around, right? And these are also definitely not my best matchups. So what happened here? I told my race. As I do play random. but at this level, there are like a single-digit number of random players regularly on the ladder, so nobody really cares. Like, if you lie once, they'll just know, and nobody trusts a random barcode, so... So, believe it or not, I like to make Widow Mines. And then I pray the Widow Mines will kill enough probes. And if they don't, we're in trouble. It's bad. Now, what I've learned from pro games is I'm right on the money with the strategy.
The enemy engaged your forces.
Oh my god. I've had enough. It's too much. It's too much. Stop. I don't need to hear more of me criticizing me on my own. Okay, I've already... Oh. I haven't seen a circle jerk this hard since the last Moby's strip orgy. Alright. Well, look at all that. Okay, so a whole lot of nothing. I mean, so the point of getting a gas first, by the way, the point of getting a gas first, or gas before you get your racks, is to get a factory immediately when the racks finishes. Or at least soon enough that you can also get a reactor in the timing. And it lines up. Guess who's not getting a factory? Like, what are you doing? So, some players will get the factory and then get the expand. Part of this is simply just pulling an extra SCV down. And, like, I scouted with an SCV, and I pulled a second SCV down. Which means we're only at 13 out of 16. It could have been 15 or 14. And those other extra 40 minerals or so, 40 to 70 minerals at the... This is why, in a lot of pro games, you see them not scout with SCVs. Because these builds line up to the second. And I am seconds off.
CC upgrade done. You remembered.
Yeah, just kind of got the reactor with no fact. Like, defeats the whole purpose. This is not how you do a Widow Mine rush. You don't delay it by 30 seconds and be like, well, it's kind of like the idea's good. No! Don't care about your theory crafting. Take it to the comments.
Your add-on is all done. Your command center, better than ever.
So the Widow Mine is revealed. You know what's weird about I always get I'm never consistent. I get 2 or 3 mines. But I screw up the build so often. Half the time it's 2. So I'm getting an armory as well. That's not even a wall. Oh my god. What the fuck? What the fuck are you doing? I'm getting more mines. Like, I think that's me saying, like, well, I got an armory, so... Probably build a few more of these. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's the whole thought process there. So what am I waiting for? I'm waiting on the first Widow Mine drop. I mean, if Kira's taught us anything, you can just kind of come in at a random... The more random the timing, the better. But still, I'm literally waiting for myself to load up another medevac. So that way... Oh, I think this got given away. Well, that was bad. Oh my. Oh my. Oh wow. Oh sweet Jesus. Okay. Oh, that's not good. I killed five probes. I now have 700 minerals. So does he, but it's worse for Terran because of how Terran production works. He's got a third. Like, we actually come in, the Marines. So, honestly, the timing wasn't horrible. The execution was. It was bad. What is that production tab? Oh my god. Oh my. You thought this would be anger. It's mostly just disappointment and self-loathing. Maybe fucking play the game. Try that. Try that. Have you ever tried criticizing people for not playing before winter? You ever done that? I mean, it's just bad. It's just bad. It's just not good. Like, once again, I do have the bare bones here. I got 3 racks, no add-ons. I got 4 idle SCVs. You got an engineering bay, +1, stim, combat shields, and a tank. Should be starting right now. Oh my god. That should have... fucking reinstalled Firefox over here. Chrome, more likely, with all these add-ons. Wait. Does any browser call them add-ons? It works. It works. The joke works. And a third... When you could get 5 add-ons, multiple SCVs, a third command center, and still have money in the bank, you might not be playing a real-time strategy game.
Forces under attack.
Jesus. This feels like a 3 strikes situation. Like, it's bad. It's really bad. Like, you can't do this. No. You're not getting through Masters like this. You're not getting a GM like this. Absolutely not. Like, you'll get to Masters just with a solid build and decent follow-up. Like, the barracks are there. All the buildings are there. I'm just not building out of them.
Constructed.
That'll get you to Masters most of the time. But it won't get you much further.
Add-on. You engage the enemy. On purpose?
Oh, wow. This was... Maybe, if I think about it, I've pushed back on this idea of, like, self-angry coach because I knew internally it would reveal how incompetent I truly am and how much I don't No, most of the time it's because people are like, you should angry coach yourself on that last game. And I'm too salty to acknowledge it. And screw you guys. No, you're not the good guys here. It's just, there are no good guys. There's just bad and worse. And I'm not sure which one I am, but I'm definitely in one of those 2 categories. And so are you. So fuck you. Not like, just fill in the blank.
Army under attack.
Winter, are you projecting your own self-esteem and just general incompetence on the people? Yeah, fuck yeah, I am. For good reason. They share it. Solidarity. I'm one of you. Jeez.
Command center upgrade. You took all the research.
Alright, so we saw Colossi. That's a scan for observers. Didn't find any observers. Does he have observers? No. Wait, did he have an observer there? He should have. Why does he not have an observer there? I mean, this is 140 APM Protoss, which is not low, but it's definitely a sit in my base and build a death ball. I'm thinking too hard again. Oh my god. Move out, scanning for observers, getting the army out on the map. Got 1 supply depot on the way, and I'm supply blocked. So I'm going to be instantly supply blocked again. There's only 3 racks. I'm up to 56. If there's one thing I'm pretty consistent is building workers. Except for that time when I wasn't building any workers. But otherwise.
Mineral pack is gone.
That Widowmine drop did more than the rest. And that essentially, I turn around because I'm like, well, that was good enough. Because now I'm ahead on workers. Somehow 28 probes have gone down. But then I just don't have enough units. You know why? Because I'm not building them. You know, it sounds crazy. And we're rallying them. And this wall-off threatens to wall off my tanks. These barracks are late. These have not been producing regularly. I only have +1 attack instead of 1/1. Like, these are not even Thermalance Colossi. I should have the army to do... Oh, well. It's several Colossi. 4 Colossi. Are those all real? Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, I never figured that out. I mean, like, I guess I figured out he had Colossi, but... Moving in with the Widowmine drop. And does surprise, because Colossi without too much next to them are actually kind of terrible, so. So, it's actually getting better as time goes on. I kind of find a groove here. The upgrades are bad.
And still in the game?
But it's not like, if only I had been as diligent on production the whole game, we wouldn't be here. Vikings for the Colossi. So pretty much a Liberator for every 10 to 15 bio supply. I think a lot of players, especially mediocre players like me, get caught just spamming medevacs. There is a point pretty early on, it's better to just have other starport units. Honestly, you should probably just build... Like, it's not like I don't have the money for a second starport. I have the money for 4 more starports. Of course, I wouldn't be able to build out of them, but, like, having a second one is probably not a huge expense. 10 out of less CVs. 10. I'm pretty sure they're just from building, because I didn't shift queue them. There's no excuse. This is an AoE 4. You can actually see what you're shift queuing.
Your upgrade is complete.
The one thing from Age of Empires I would like, Age of Empires 2, not 4. Nothing. Besides the sound design. I love the sound design. Anyways. Is the ability, so in AoE 2 Definitive Edition, you can make it so your box select only selects army, and then if you hold Alt, it selects only workers. And then if you hold Control Alt, it selects everything, which is one of the coolest things. Another thing I want from AoE 2D is select all army on screen. That's another button. Those are two things that are huge quality of life things that I still struggle with. I've always struggled with, especially Terran struggles with in SC2. Both of those things would essentially just be a buff to Terran. Select all army on screen and the ability to not select your SCVs with your army as often. Yeah, I wish.
It took dozens of APM to build.
All right. Well, so if I know my Terran, what's going to happen here is I'm going to have a decent army. I'm going to try too hard. I'm going to get caught in a bad position. I'm going to lose too much of it because I got caught in that bad position. And then I'm going to seethe for a couple minutes and lose the game.
It's not coming back.
Well, this isn't so much caught as throwing myself on the hook. Wow. I'm like, look, free Colossi. There's no such thing as free Colossi. You idiot. What the? Okay, well, once again.
Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, I just lost 30 supply. Because I decided that I could kill 2 Colossi with another 50 army supply nearby. Yeah, nailed it. I absolutely crushed it. Yeah, now there's not enough army. 1,500 minerals. Oh my god. Oh, it's bad. Okay.
Find that play button.
Oh wow. All right. Well, this one's a C-. Honestly, the Terran's bad. Like, Terran requires the sharpest builds. There you go. There you go, Terran players. It's true, but like once you get the early game build down, the rest of the game is relatively simple because you only build the same like 3 or 4 units for the most part for quite a while. And then you add in like a ghost and or liberators if you're feeling spicy, but like you gotta nail that early game, and I just did not. It was not good. I outplayed myself mostly in that match, which is the sadder part. Like that is what stupid people say in order to make excuses for their mistakes, but here we are. So here is Protoss versus Zerg. So you have 2 choices with Protoss versus Zerg. You got like 8 minutes or you got 48 minutes. So I went with the 8-minute one because these are the ones that are easier to kind of pinpoint where you went wrong. And honestly, I feel like especially below the GM level, a lot of players will just try to like I'm the Protoss in order to be I know filthy. Fair. But a lot of players will just try to come over and kill you. Cuz I mean, I'm from the other side of the story. I don't want to play a 45-minute game against Sky Toss. Who does? Somebody alert the FBI to their location. Like, okay, so my general plan, I still like going ground toss. I like going, like, Stargate opener. You gotta go Stargate opener. Into, like, a Twilight timing or something like that. Or maybe even going Robo Disruptor. I usually avoid the Disruptor rush, even though I know it's better, because I like to pretend I can micro Blink Stalkers. Or just use Charge Lots. And that's because I'm bad, stubborn, and dumb, and I fear change. Like and subscribe. I can't tell if I was describing myself or the YouTube algorithm, but yeah, make sure to smash that like button. Leave a comment. Yeah, this is just for you, YouTube. It's just me and you, Tube. So, honestly, I've toyed around with this for a while. It's been essentially since Angry Coach. It became a thing. I've thought about that. A few times I half-heartedly tried some self-angry coaching, but this has actually been eye-opening, painful, yet amusing. So, I mean, what else do you want? And don't tell me. Like, YouTube knows better than you do. So, people are like, I want more 3-hour-long guides where you read off the stats of each unit and explain its strengths and weaknesses. It's like, no, you don't. Don't lie to me. All right? Last time you watched something that was 3 hours long, it was Lord of the Rings. Like, the extended edition is actually 3 hours and 45. It's like, yeah, but the credits are like 28 minutes. You don't watch every bit of the music's amazing.
On purpose?
Wish I could play it. Anyways. That's enough. Hopefully. So Void Ray, couple of depths, Scout 3 base. Okay. Find the Overlord. I usually stick with just the one. I really, like, what are you doing? You got 250 gas. What? And now, this is important. The fuck? Hey, you could have just built another Void Ray. You just didn't. This is kind of a running trend. I'm just not on point. These are a lot of, like, I'm doing, in my opinion, and I like to think it's an expert opinion, everything right. Like, none of any of these games has been wrong. It's just been slow. Like, there's been no bad choices, just bad play. Like, I don't think I've made any wrong decisions. I just haven't made enough right ones fast enough. Welcome to StarCraft.
Research all done.
Yes, I'm trying to say I have the... I understand the game at a Grandmaster level. I like to think I do. Maybe I should fucking prove it. Yeah, there's the Twilight and Forge, which could have been a solid... almost a minute earlier. Okay, so what have you scouted? What have you scouted? The point of the Void Rays is partially to clear Overlords and force a response, and partially to be constantly scouting because he has no way to move out on the map against air units. So right now, when was the last time? Like, I have 2 gates. I'm getting a Robo. Now adding on the gate. How many probes? 50 probes. Not a bad time to add gates. The Void Rays are out there. Okay. So what are the risks? 2 things. 1 is he does a Queen All-In. 2 is he doesn't do a Queen All-In. That is all you need to be scouting for at this phase. Is he doing a Queen All-In? You tell me. What do you think? Okay, Templar Archives, more gates. Maybe try warping in units.
Looking for your Artosis pylons.
Yeah, the answer is, who knows? Same thing as the Terran game on this map, but just way more pronounced. Like, hello? Recall the Void Rays. But I just don't have nearly enough. What do? You keep adding Void Rays, you cut probe production, you get all these gates quicker. Honestly, part of it was already baked in. I didn't get the extra tech as quickly. I didn't get the +1 in the charge. I could have got more gates. Right now I'm at 59 probes, 50 drones, so this isn't like the quickest all in. But the fact it shows up on my front doorstep, and I didn't even get like a text message notification saying, hey, this is on your doorstep. Did you deliver fucking, did you order 50 Zerglings, 10 Roaches, and 10 Ravagers with half a dozen Queens? Like, no, take it back. Nope, sorry, it's here now. It's yours. It's like, I don't want this. Oh my. The knitting crew. Synchronized march. Oh my. Yeah, so pretty much. I do. Honestly, if the Twilight and Forge had been 30 seconds faster, if the second Void Ray had been 10, 15 seconds faster, if the Gateways had been 20 seconds faster, the Templar Archives had been, like, look at my money. See, 655. It's not like I didn't have the guess. I just didn't. I don't think any of these builds, honestly, I think it's Disruptors, though. Like Hearthstone says. Like, I think you just got to go straight Disruptor. Archons don't cut it. Archons are a nice, solid filler, but the Disruptors, they're a great, like, they're a great topping, but your meat or your cheese is the Disruptors. I don't know if we're doing a pizza or like a sandwich, but either way, you need a little bit more actual damage that doesn't have to get within 2 feet, within spitting distance of all that corrosive bile, which just,
Don't worry.
nowadays.
It's not about winning or losing. It's about complaining on the internet.
It's not about winning or losing. It's about complaining on the internet. Wise words from me, for once. Well, that was... like, honestly, it was fine. Not good. You're not going to get any better. Some games, you'll scout it. Like, you'll happen to scout it in time with the way I was playing. And you might have enough units in place. Like, if the Void Rays are at home, if Charge and +1 are done, like, half the games I play, it's going to be fine. But the other half, I'm just going to die. There's essentially 2 ways PvZ goes. It's either a queen all-in or not. Like, I mean, look at all those possibly ill-conceived balance patch ideas for discussion on that. But, well, mostly disappointment, not anger. I mean, a little, honestly, internally angry. It's hard for me to get, like, it's hard for me to get angry because I know what the issues are. It's more disappointment. It's like, usually my anger is at ignorance. When people say stupid shit on the internet and stand by it with no qualifications and no experience, thinking that they're, no, what do you mean it's time to wake up? It's the middle of the day. All right, Jimmy, edit this part out. We're doing editing now. All right, like and subscribe for editing. Also edit that part out. So this, hopefully, has been everything you dreamed of and then more. And maybe dream bigger. I think we'll be doing more. Thank you for watching. Good luck, have fun. I'll see you next time. Yeah. Anyways, stay chill.